Dude, I remember there was a UFC fight I watched way back in my friend's house. He was like, dude, I'll just pirate it. It's the middle of the fight. The stream buffers, and then a huge just shows up on screen. Breaking down my $306,500 salary in San Francisco. Now, I don't know if this is an out-of-touch video because there's been a recent trend on social media, if you haven't seen, where there is a growing number of people that think the number specifically of $300,000 a year is broke. Like, there are people that think that if you have $300,000 a year, you're living paycheck to paycheck. I don't know if Raymond is one of these people. It'll still be an interesting video anyway, but there was a woman recently we watched. I don't know if she lived, it was like New York or Chicago. She lived in some big city, like New York, Boston, San Fran, somewhere like that. And she was like, I'm barely breaking even. I have no money. I'm like, dude, because you live in you own a floor on a fucking skyrise. You're renting for fucking $12K a month. No shit, you're broke. Why are you doing that?
I'm Raymond Zhang. I work as a software engineer making $306,500, and I live in the San Francisco Bay Area. I'm going to be sharing all of my finances.
Do you think he needed to say the 500? I'm like, I feel like he could have rounded up or down there. 361, 360.
Between my bills and my investments. This is cost of living. I'm a software engineer working at Meta.
What? Meta? Oof. What is this computer keyboard, bro? You peeping this? Why does it split? Is this normal? I don't think I've ever seen a keyboard like this. Y'all have one like this?
I'm a software engineer working at Meta. In terms of my role, I earn $306,500 on average. After taxes and retirement contributions, I am currently taking home about $4,000 a month.
What?
And retirement contribution is $6,500 on average.
Okay, he gets $185K base salary, $100K in stocks, and then a $30K bonus.
After taxes and retirement contributions, I am currently taking home about $4,000.
Bro, he's putting $7,500 a month into a 401K. Is that not like, I think you should be putting a lot. I mean, that's crazy good for like late game. Buddy, you ain't touching that for 30 years. Like, that's I think you should put money away for a retirement fund, but I think there's a difference between a retirement fund and base investments. Because it's like, you're throwing like $80K a year into invest it. Well, I mean, a 401K, it's going to be invested, but it's like, you can't pull that out without a penalty. Like, I mean, maybe his business matches. That's the other thing is like, there's business matches for like 401Ks and stuff. Like, you offer that to your employees where if they put in like 10K, you match that or you give them a certain percentage. So maybe that's what he's taking advantage of. But I'm like kind of shocked he's putting that much away. Like, I don't think that's bad, but like, holy fuck, dude. He's putting more than half of his paycheck every month into something he won't see for 30 years.
$1,000 a month. I currently do not have any other sources of income.
Do you put a lot away into 401K? No and yes. I used to use a Roth IRA. I think it's a good system in place. I no longer can use a Roth IRA. There's like a wealth amount where you no longer can receive the benefits of it. And I think that's a good thing in place to help people that are able to grow income-wise differently or in a more fair sense. So I put a lot of my money into a 401K, yeah, but also just like base investments. Like, it's not, it's different though. It's like, it depends on the person. The thing is, he works for a company that might be matching it. I'm a sole proprietor, right? Like, I am an individual that is also basically a company. I don't get like stuff taken out of my paycheck from Twitch or YouTube. So how Twitch and YouTube income works is different from like, I'm signing W-9s. I'm not signing W-4s. This is going to make zero sense to the people that don't have a job in chat, which is many of you. But a lot of you will know what I'm saying. When you work at a 9-to-5, you're probably signing a W-4. You work for a company, right? And you have a 9-to-5, you get a paycheck, and of your paycheck, it's itemized that certain amounts of your paycheck get taken out for like pension, 401K, and other benefits on your behalf, right? Before you even see it. So I don't know if that's what's happening with him. It might be because he works for a company. That doesn't happen for me. If I get paid 20K, I'm getting 20K flat, right? And then I have to do the I have to do the taxes. I have to invest in myself. I have to do the retirement stuff myself.
Retirement contributions, I am currently taking home about $4,000 a month. I currently do not have any other sources of income.
U.S. average salary for software engineer. I was gonna say U.S. average income is not fucking 191,000. All jobs. Oh, the all job. What? That can't be right. The U.S. average income is not $61,000 a year. Is that taking out people that are just like unemployed? Wait, let me look that up. What is the average U.S. income? When I did a paper, it said I remember when I did a paper my sophomore year in college, which would have been 2022, 23. It said that the average income for an American was like 51,000, but you have to look at median, because median's middle. It says the national wage is $62,000. That can't be right. Has it gone up that much? The average the reason you can't look at the average is because the average gets skewed by like really rich people. Because if you have Elon Musk in the same category as like 5 million minimum wage workers, their average income is still high as fuck because he just offsets the piss out of everyone, right? So you have to look at median, because then you're basically going person to person, rich, poor, rich, poor, rich, poor, rich, poor, rich, poor. What does the middle guy make? And that is what the average person in America should be seen as. Like, there's an equal number of people making more or less than, like, I could see that being 61K. I'm surprised it's that high.
I work anywhere between 40 to 50 hours a week on average. In terms of my day-to-day, it can be really anything. My role is
Bro has there's no keys. It's just, well, how does he know what button he's pressing? Where's the fucking, he doesn't need to look? Yeah, but what happened? Still, like, why are they're just making blank keys?
anything. My role is fairly dynamic, so I could be doing anything from software engineering and actual coding to some of the more sort of project management or product management stuff, as well as some data science sort of analysis. Prior to joining my current company, I had spent 2 years living in Dallas, and I moved here about 7 or 8 months ago, back in July of 2025. In terms of base rent, I am paying $2,600 a month. Amenity fees are included.
That's not, oh, it's a 1-bed, 1-bath. I was gonna say that's not that bad for San Francisco. You're living in a pretty expensive city. He's a software engineer living in like Center City, San Fran. That's not that bad.
Included in the base rent. Utilities will cost anywhere between
3K average is insane. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's well below. Like, San Francisco is just an expensive fucking city. It's like, dude, you're not gonna find somewhere that's like $1,000 a month in fucking LA or San Fran or San Diego. Like, and maybe if you're on the outskirts somehow, but you're gonna be living in like a shitter apartment where you're sharing it with other people.
My electricity bill here is about 50% higher than it was in Dallas, from about $20 to $30 per month to about $50 a month. I feel like I am getting good value. A lot of the comparable areas that are closer to my work could run anywhere between $3,500 to $3,700 per month, and I'm getting everything that I wanted out of this apartment. I live a little bit further away from either the major cities of San Francisco or San Jose or Oakland, but still within commutable distance.
Bro, I genuinely think this loop of having had visited San Fran like a few months ago, this is the craziest conglomerate of cities that I've ever seen. 3 major cities with huge major sports teams involved with them, all different vibes in general, and they're all like 20 minutes away from each other and surrounding the same specific like body of water. Like, if you ever go to San Fran, you could hit 3 major cities in one day.
Of all 3.
All their sports teams suck ass. Fair?
Even though I had access to a relocation expert, I decided to do a lot of the research on my own, taking a look at all the things that I wanted to focus on from a living perspective. And after making the decisions, I decided to sign the lease sight unseen without actually having seen the place in person. Hey, welcome to my apartment. So this is the main kitchen area.
So how much did he say his rent was? Like $2,200, $2,600. So how much is that per year? Just rent. $26,000 for 10 months plus another $5,200. Oh wow, he's paying over $31K a year on rent. Okay, no, that's actually dog shit. I know it's San Fran, bro. He's paying $31,000 a year for a 1-bedroom a year, and he's not even like working towards owning it. That's horrible.
It's quite
Like 31K on a one bed.
spacious compared to my last apartment. The only complaint that I really have are these the countertops aren't exactly ideal for the amount that I'm paying, but it's all right. In terms of fridge and freezer, I got some meal prep stuff from the night before.
Yo, empty ass fridge. Holy horror game fridge. Oh my god. Pickled jalapenos. Or those pickled radishes. What is that purple shit? Yeah, there's like 6 things in this whole fridge. Oh my god. Bro, what do we eat? He's got the essentials? Bro, what are the essentials? I'm not seeing any. I'm seeing a Ziploc bag of like day old pizza and then like 2 other things. Bro, where's like eggs, fruit, fucking anything, bro? Condiments. Where's ketchup?
As well as a
Oh,
whole
it's on the side right there. Okay, he's got Arizona tea.
host of drinks and
Diet Dr. Pepper.
mixers. In the freezer, very similar thing where I've got
You got the alcohol and whatever these are.
a couple of frozen things, as well as some dumplings that I actually wrapped myself when I was really bored one day. Over here we have my main.
When are we gonna make them? He's acting like you wrapped those weeks ago. These are some dumplings I wrapped when I was really bored one day. Are we gonna cook those soon? How long are they?
Sort of living/workshop area. This is where I
Oh my god, I don't know, dude. I am not vibing with this feng shui. You just have, bro, your living room, you have your office, and it's just in the middle of the room. Like, I'm gonna have to take that. A computer should always be in the corner. It should always be in the corner of a room or a wall. Like, it should be against a wall.
the living/workshop area. This is where I get all my work
Oh, this is horrid.
done, as well as my personal projects.
The decision to do without a couch and a TV is
That is a fat ass PC. Oh my god, that thing probably is crazy specs. And he's just got a Roomba docked. This is like dystopian. Like, I know the room is nice. Does this not look like... This is like sad. It's just one fat ass monitor.
really just based on my own needs. I don't really watch a whole lot of
Show your setup? No, it's dirty. I'll show you my keyboard.
TV. I just use my computer. I don't host people in my apartment, obviously.
It's okay. The rest of my setup's not that dirty. I swear to God, it's just my keyboard. Okay, it's my keyboard because I eat food and I drop... I eat like a lot of chips while I'm gaming, and I drop them in the keys, and I don't want to take all the keycaps to clean. And then when I'm screaming, I spit all over the place, and so spit gets on the keys and it dries, and I clean it. But every time I clean it, it like breaks the keyboard. So I just kind of use a keyboard for like 6 months, and then at some point it breaks, and I just throw it out. Get an electrical blower? No, I have air duster, and I use that. But it's like, this is like solidified stuff. And then my mouse is so old that you see how my thumb has like I've used this for you're a millionaire, by the way. I've used this so long that like it has my thumb imprint on the mouse.
If I do decide to
Waiting on Brady to clean your keyboard? Hey, if Brady wants to clean my keyboard, by all means.
hang out with friends, I'll usually go to their place or maybe a
Do you
third
sweat acid? What do you mean, do I sweat acid? No, when I play games, I like death grip my mouse. So like over time, it's like eroded away to where it's just on the actual plastic part of the mouse now.
place. And in the case of hanging out with my friends in virtual
This guy does nothing but stream. I'm crying. Yeah, that's my job.
reality, well,
That's not normal. Bro, what are you if I'm gaming, I'm holding my mouse like this. And then I have these side buttons. And so dude, you're telling me over a year that's not that's not weird that eroded away.
everyone's sort of split off in their own physical space.
We've also got a couple of other things over here, just the DJ
Yeah, just some cool decorations, you know. We have some wall tapestry just to lighten up the vibe of the room.
controller because I really don't have a lot of other space to put it, as well as my robot.
You gotta rewind. Oh my god, when was he playing with VR?
Without a couch and a TV is really just based on my own needs. I don't really watch a whole lot of TV. I just use my computer. I don't host people.
Bro, he chills at his desk. Like, he doesn't have a living room. Like, this is the living room, but he just made it his office. And so he just watches TV at his desk.
I just use my computer. I don't host people in
That's valid. I think that's valid when you make, like, an average income. Bro, he makes $300K a year. Buy a couch. Have furniture. Like, I don't want to guess, I'm guessing this dude's bed is on the ground. I'm going to have an all-out guess that this guy's bed is not on a box spring. Instead, he just said, hey. I mean, some of you guys have your bed on the ground. Nothing wrong with it, but it's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. But just a mattress on the floor, man. You make $300K a year. You could buy a thing to put it on.
My apartment, obviously. If I do decide to hang out with friends, I'll usually go to their place or maybe a third place. And in the case of
you think that's like a red flag? Yo, for like the 10 women in chat, is that I'll take it out of sub only. Is that a red flag if you go to a guy's house and his mattress is on the floor? Yes. Is that like concerning?
hanging out with my friends in virtual reality while everyone's sort of split off in their own physical space.
We've also got a couple of other things over here, just the DJ
And there's just a huge piss stain.
controller because I really don't have a lot of other space to put it, as well as
Oh my god, I keep forgetting to listen to him about the VR. Stop. I'm sorry, I keep rewinding.
Obviously, if I do decide to hang out with friends, I'll usually go to their place or maybe a third place. And in the case of hanging out with my friends in virtual reality while everyone's sort of split off in their own physical space.
Bro, I don't think virtual reality offers any better feeling of connection than just fucking sitting on Discord and playing a game. Like, if I have to have a fuck-ass clunky headset on and I'm like, oh, hey. Like, just, what
also
are we
got
doing?
a couple of other things
Bed's on the floor.
over here, just the DJ controller because I really don't have a lot of other space to put it, as well as my robot cleaner, which gets the job done. It's not perfect, but it definitely helps out in terms of having to clean. Over here, we've got just the bedroom.
Oh, no, it's not. Okay, no, it's just a thin mattress. It's a thin mattress with a low sitting. Okay, I respect.
Just the bedroom. I mean,
Bro, come on. You make $300K a year. That's a hand-me-down mattress, bro. That's a hand-me-down single bed. Maybe a full. What the fuck? Get a queen. Holy shit. That's a twin bed? Okay, maybe it's a twin. I think that's like a between twin and full. That's crazy. He's investment maxing. Bro, he's putting $7,500. He's putting over half of his income per month into a 401k. What are we doing?
there's really not much to my bedroom. It gets
I'm not saying investment's bad like that, but like, holy shit. We're like just throwing all the money into fucking 30 years from now. Buy a bed.
the job done for me.
A mattress lasts like 9 years.
have my blanket, my pillow, a filing cabinet doubling as a nightstand, as well as my charger there. It's all that I really need at this point.
And the fire hazard Temu lamp.
And this is my bathroom. The highlight of this is really the bidet that I installed. It was about $400 or so,
Now we're living luxury. Okay, I respect. He's got a bidet.
but it was a really, really nice quality of life improvement for myself.
Oh, yeah, dude. You gotta fucking wash your ass.
And outside over here, we've got a little bit of a balcony. I don't spend a lot of time out here, as you may be able to tell, but it is a nice way to get some fresh air in. I've been told by
Fucking chain smokes cigarettes out on that porch.
many of my friends that my living situation is very Spartan, but really it's an intentional choice to pick and choose parts of my life that I decide to spend more
Bro, the one thing is he's kind of like a nomad. Like, if he wanted to just leave, he has like no belongings. He could fit all of his stuff in the back of a fucking F-150. Like, he doesn't even need a U-Haul. Like, there's no couch, there's no furniture. Like, he's just abandoned the bed. Fucking toss it on the side of the road.
or less money on. So even though my living situation right now is fairly sparse, that doesn't mean that it's going to stay that way, say if I decide to have a partner or have kids. Between ride sharing and public transit, I'll sometimes spend around $30 per month, but most of the
Bro, $30 a month on rideshare? One Uber is $30 in San Fran. Literally. So we're taking one Uber. Oh, he's saying public transit, like if you're taking like the subway or like some shit like that.
time, it's $0.
It's $0, so he's walking everywhere.
I live in the Bay Area without a car, and so I think one of the big things to me
Wait, did I say BART ride? What do you mean? Why are people saying BART ride?
is I live in time spent around $30 per month,
Huh, average BART ride.
but most of the time it's $0.
What does that even stand for?
I live in the Bay Area without a car, and so I think one of the big things
Oh, it's actually, oh my God, it's called BART. Oh, Average BART ride is $5.
To me is the accessibility to public transit. I live about 5 minutes away from the nearest Bay Area rapid transit station.
Bay Area rapid transit.
I'm actually quite used to living car-free. I had lived previously in Dallas for 2 years without a car and got around in very similar ways. I picked out this apartment also specifically for its proximity to all of the things that I would really want to go to on a regular basis. So that would be cafes, boba shops, as well as the grocery store. For those, I just walk, and for anything else, I would either take the public transit or in certain cases, take rideshare.
Bro, buy a fucking $1,000 electric scooter and just ride it around. I feel like that'd be like the method, bro.
Our company,
Get a chain lock.
like many other companies around the Bay Area, have shuttles that go around the area, and I utilize those to get to and from work.
Then you're a loser? What do you mean, then you're a loser? You know how fucking cool electric scooters are? Or just a bike? No. Electric scooter. Or a moped. Oh, dude, a moped's probably the sickest purchase you could make for something that's like $2 grand. Like, these are fucking awesome. Awesome. And they go like 40 miles an hour. Zero aura.
I spend about $300 per month on groceries. I usually budget $75 per month for eating out.
Damn, dude, I'm spending more than $300 a month on groceries. I mean, well, I'm also like buying food out. I would say I go to the grocery store once every week and a half, and I'm probably spending around $180 every time I go.
But I usually don't hit that maximum. I used to get online delivery for my groceries, but not anymore.
On what? I buy so much fruit and like the majority of my cost of groceries is just fruit and vegetables.
Given that it's so close to my
And then I buy really nice toilet paper.
apartment.
I should stock up on some more instant noodles.
In terms of what
Where do you shop? Walmart. Here's where somebody's gonna say, you got an airline. Walmart. Dick. Self-checkout. Fucker.
I cook on a daily basis, I don't really have a set plan because of the fact that my company subsidizes both my breakfast and my lunch.
How do you spell that? Are you trying to fact check me on whether or not I fucking shop at Walmart?
But yes, beef short rib, $14.34 or $10.99 per pound. This is a cut that usually isn't super widely available in Western grocery stores.
Oh,
So
he gets free food at his work. Yeah, I'm talking over him mad crazy. Sorry.
I cook on a daily basis, I don't really have a set plan because of the fact that my company subsidizes both my breakfast and my lunch.
Wow.
But yes, beef short rib, $14.34 or $10.99 per pound. This is a cut that usually isn't super widely available in Western grocery stores. So always nice to pick some up from the Asian grocery store.
In terms of dinner, I'll usually meal prep some sort of protein as well as vegetables. So that could be chicken, it could be some fish. It really just depends on my mood.
This herbal tea, this stuff is gas. Also a ton of sugar in there, but really, really good. So a pack of 6 for $3.99.
Yo, if you did this with me, I would have a monthly cost of weed. Like, that would have to be factored into my budget, bro. Like, those nowadays I drink are like $9 a can, bro. I would be like, all right, so we're doing our weekly stop and I'm spending $100. Yeah, I'm probably spending, I don't know how much money I spend on weed. I spend a lot of money on weed.
I'm lucky enough to be in a
Mainly weed drinks. Because actual weed, I don't buy a lot of bud. I drink a lot of THC drinks. And edibles aren't that expensive.
situation where food prices have not
Somebody redeemed edible. It was you, jackass. I saw it. Why are you saying someone redeemed edible? You're the one that redeemed it.
really affected how I socialize or make these decisions around food choices.
You know you're gonna get high, bro. It's 1:56, bro. Later. This is the first video of the day.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and make our way to the other grocery store. Round 2, let's go.
In terms of cooking versus eating out, I am almost always cooking at home. I very rarely dine out.
Man, people are
How though? There's some fire spots in San Fran, dude. They have so many like Korean fusion places, and then just in general like sushi restaurants.
fiending for
I'd be eating out every other day if I lived in San Fran.
the Coke Zeros. We ran out of the large ones.
Oh no.
Here's what I got at the Western supermarket. A loaf of white bread, a bag of white rice, a dozen eggs, a bottle of Coke, and a gallon of whole milk. In total, this came out to be
The gut buster. This shit. It's just you'd be pooping straight logs, bro.
$22.34. Now, this isn't necessarily what I would get on a regular basis, but it's just to give an idea of how much things cost in my area.
What do you do for fun in your free time?
That's an excellent question. In terms of what I do
Oh my god, is this where he spends his money?
in my free time, there are really three major
He owns like fucking $5 million of CSGO cases.
areas that I spend my money on. The first is finances, so really a lot about the credit cards and churning and that sort of thing, as well as my personal finances. There's also a big aspect of travel, whether that's domestic or international. And I am also an active participant in the furry community.
Oh, yep, and all the money. That's where all the money's gone. Dude, a fursuit's like fucking $10,000.
Currently spend about $1,000 a year just for the privilege of owning the credit cards that I currently hold on to. In terms of my hobbies, I generally
Amex Platinum.
spend between $400 and $500 a month across all of them.
I feel like you can't factor. I know there's a point in saying that because it's like you spend that money, but if you have an Amex Plat card, like you're getting more out of it than like what you're spending in the annual fees.
Though in certain cases, I will spend a little bit more money, and I'm currently saving up for a fursuit. On average, depending on where your maker is, as well as how reputable they are, a fursuit will generally cost between $4,000 to $7,000. The furry community means a lot of different things to various people. To some people, it's a way of expressing themselves, sometimes in adult ways, and other times it's
Bro, he's really like fur-mogging everyone in this fucking picture though. Like he has an animated fucking mask and everybody else just has like a regular, like he's actually fur-mogging.
in adult ways, and other times it's just a way of designing a fictional character and sort of
Joe, your DMs aren't working. I have a fursuit ready. Bro, stop.
living in a bit of a mascot costume.
I almost bought, I remember that was a thing. I tried to buy, y'all wanted me to buy a fur mask like years ago. And I thought it would be like, oh, like $200, bro. They're like thousands of dollars.
And other times it's just a way of designing a fictional character and sort of living in a bit of a mascot costume for a while. To me, being part of this community really means designing my own characters, as well as embodying them in the form of either commissioning art or in some extreme cases, commissioning fursuits.
Oh, does he not have, oh, this isn't the fursuit. This is the material he wants to use.
And all of this faux fur, or at least part of it, will eventually end up on the head. This is a bigger part of the project, especially since I'm not super familiar with sewing, but it'll eventually end up on there.
So my character currently is a bit of a cyborg hybrid between a canine as well as a robot, known in the community colloquially as a protogen. I think for really anything mentioning furry in the furry community as well, because of it being a sort of historically marginalized community in the social space, there are a lot of concerns around doxing, as well as in general people not necessarily being super comfortable with being public with this. I just happen to be one of the stupid people that decided to go public with this. I don't really spend a lot of money on improvement.
People hate on furries that much? Bro, I'm like, who gives a shit? You want to spend $8K on a fursuit and be a furry? I don't care. Like, people that get that bothered, they'll fucking harass them. I mean, like, I understand people are making jokes, but I'm like, bro, to that point?
My finances, it's more so
Hey, you want to be a furry? Who cares?
of a lifestyle choice to take a look at credit cards and the perks that they offer and whether or not it's really worth it to me. In terms of maximizing your value for the points, this is really a process of trying to earn those points in the most efficient way and spending those points in
I care. Why? Like, bro, what a weird outlook on life. Like, that you're letting that irk you on a daily basis. Like, it doesn't affect you at all. It doesn't affect you at all. Like, people want to be furries. That's fine.
the most efficient way.
They're creepy. Bro, you don't know the difference between people that are furries and people that fetishize fursuits. People that are furries aren't doing it because they're sexually attracted to the idea of being a furry. They just like being furries, right? Like, they like having a fursona. Like, that's different.
Generally, in terms of earning, you're going to be getting those from sign-up bonuses rather than everyday
My kid, though? Bro, if I had a kid and he wanted to be a furry, I'm not paying for his fucking fursuit, but I'll say, hey, man, you want to save up $7,000 to buy a fursuit? It's on you.
spend. And in terms
I'd be like, I'll get you a car, right? Do I think they're overpriced as fuck? Yeah, dude, $7,000? Holy shit. But, like, I'm not going to judge it.
In terms of actually cashing in those points, you're going to be trying to look for value where, say, maybe a business class ticket might be $5,000, but only $2,500 worth of points. I was fortunate enough to grow up in a household where my mother was very financially literate, and she was actually the one that got me interested in credit cards and churning in the first place. The most recent trip that I did was to Southeast Asia, so Singapore as well as Malaysia. I was fortunate enough to bring my dad along as well as my sister.
That's very sweet. He brings his family.
I have health insurance provided by my employer. I am currently paying for a high deductible plan and I spend about $17 per month. I currently do not have any recurring healthcare
I don't have dental insurance.
costs. In terms of staying fit, my apartment has a gym, but in case I'm lazy,
Still. And I think about that. I'm like, I just pay out of pocket. But I just don't have dental insurance.
to do that, I also do bodyweight fitness. And for cardio,
I've never had dental insurance. I swear. I've never had dental insurance. I have health insurance. I don't have dental insurance.
and aerobics, I do dancing.
One of the big parts about the furry conventions as well are the
All right.
raves that happen in person. And there are some people there that know how to dance.
In any given month, I will save anywhere between $5,000 to $20,000. In terms
Wow.
of that large range, it really depends on whether or not my 401k is maxed out, whether or not I have any stock
Oh, that's why he's maxing. He's doing the most he's able to do.
vesting, and whether or not I have any bonus.
Why are you saying all right? Buddy, I'm not saying all right. Like, I'm saying all right because it's cringy. I'm not saying I'm not cringy, bro. I twerk on stream. That shit's cringy as fuck.
In terms of
I'm not sitting here, bro. I'm not sitting here acting like I'm not cringe as hell either.
matching out my 401k with my employer, I contribute $24,500 up to the maximum limit that I can contribute alongside my employer contributions.
Okay, they do match it. That answered my question from an hour ago.
In addition to that, I make after-tax contributions all the way up to the IRS limit of $72,000. So in total, about 1/6 of my compensation is going towards my 401k. In terms of my other investments, I also max out my Roth IRA and HSA every single year, and then any additional money goes into my brokerage account. I'm currently about 80% invested in the US stock market and 20% internationally. I think like with many other parts of my generation,
I'm heavily invested into the spider fighting rings of the Philippines, so I understand the 20% international.
very much a big split in terms of financial literacy, among other things. There's a swath of people who are fairly well educated in terms of personal finances, and there are a lot of those who are just getting by. I view personal finance in a very similar way as I do personal fitness. A lot of the core concepts are fairly simple, but it doesn't mean that it's easy to follow, and there are a lot of traps along the way. I'm aiming to retire by the age of 30, in which case I'll need about $1.6 million to do so. In terms of why I decided to start pursuing the path of financial independence and retiring early, I wanted to build a life for myself where I wouldn't
Dude, that's crazy. He's going to retire when he's 30.
have to work for money.
Bro, but he retires at 30. The majority of his investments are going to be in long-term retirement funds that he wouldn't be able to touch for 29 and a half years after he turns 30, unless he takes a heavy hit. So it's like, well, he needs 1.6 million, fluid cash. Like, he needs $1.6 million and then he'll retire. I just feel like that's definitely enough money, but it's like, then he's going to have to live. Like, why not? In my mind, okay, see, this is maybe like a money hungry mindset here. But in my mind, if he's making $300K a year, why not work another 5 years, pocket another fucking, $500K, and then be able to live at a higher annual spending rate than he does now? Like, because you retire at 30, okay, what do you do with your life? Like, people ask me what I'm going to do when I'm done streaming. Like, yeah, I could be done, but, like, I'll probably do other shit. Like, I've talked about wanting to work at a dog shelter, becoming a personal trainer, just doing something to, like, keep, active, right? Like, you can't just be like, oh, okay, now I'm going to bum for the rest of my life. Travel? Bro, but traveling is expensive. If he has $1.6 million and he's going to travel for the rest of his life, he'll run out of that. Seriously. Like, if you have $1.6 million, he has all of his income just comes from his investments, and he can't touch his retirement fund for 30 years, and he's traveling all the time. Like, say he's taking 6-7 trips a year. Didn't even mean to do the 6-7 joke, sorry. Say he's taking 6-7 trips a year that cost like $6,000 a piece, $8K a piece. It's like, that's going to fucking add up, coupled with your other living expenses, his rent, that's $30K a year. Like, you're going to run out of money. Then you get a girlfriend or a wife or a significant other. You end up having kids at some point, which you mentioned. Like, you're not going to be able to support them in that way.
All the way up until 65. There's a lot of moving
Unless
parts
you
when
live
it
extremely frugally.
comes to retirement planning, and even establishing a goal number is a bit of a moving goalpost in general.
You're not wrong. Well, I'm saying it's like, dude, the average cost of like raising a kid to like 18 is like $300,000 or some shit. So you have 2 kids and another person that's in your life, and you're traveling and living in an expensive city. Like $1.6 million is a lot, but if you're not handling that money well, like you're going to bleed, right? It's like you're fine for years, but like if you're not investing that in a way that's going to long last and you're still spending, like if you give somebody $1 million, they can retire, yes. But they're not going to be able to retire living in an apartment that costs $40K a year and owning 2 cars and fucking traveling, right? Like, you're going to have to retire in a more frugal way, living in a cheaper area like West Virginia or somewhere in the more middle of the United States. Like, you can't live in a big city.
The rule of thumb in the community is to multiply your expenses by 25, or otherwise known as the 4% rule.
Not financial advice. Yeah, not financial advice.
And if you're retiring earlier than, say, around 40 or so, you might want to add some leeway to that. And so my budget is a little bit greater than the actual 4% rule. There's a lot of different projections.
It's good that he's doing that. I just think it's like he's looking at it at the perspective of me, right? And you have to factor in, fuck, what if I have kids? That's the biggest thing in my mind. What if I have kids? What if I have a significant other that also isn't working, right?
In terms of how much I'm going to be contributing in the future, as well as how the stock market is going to do over that course of time.
I have way too many sheets in this, so
it's really what you're going to retire from is really based off of how much you plan on spending a year. Like, he had like 64K annual expenses, which works, right? But if you want to retire, like, that's why I'm just like, fuck, man. And I know maybe that's like more a materialistic way, but I'm like, if you're making a salary of $300,000 a year, if he works till he's like 35, 40, then he could have an annual spend of like 150K. Like, he could live at a much higher quality of life and travel more and own more. It's greedy. I mean, yeah, but like, I don't know. I mean, retiring 30, I would say saying work till 40 isn't greedy, right? Retiring at 30 is a young age to retire at.
every month I'll create a copy of this sort of base spreadsheet. I designed it myself.
Retiring out of 30, to put it in perspective, is 8 years of work out of college. Like, less than a decade. You graduate college, you work for 8 years, and you're done. Like, I'm not sitting here saying people should work till they're 60. No, that's fucking long, right? But like, you're working 8 years.
I don't really have a template that I follow, and I prefer it this way. It's more of a DIY approach of, if I decide that there are certain categories that I don't want or categories that I do need, then I'll just add it onto the spreadsheet and it'll be copied over.
He's got emergency funds out too. Dude, he really is thinking far into this. Hey, I trust the number that he's arrived at then.
For the remainder of however long I decide to do this budgeting. I actually do have a larger tax sheet that does track down in terms of like taxes that I'm paying, in terms of the income that I'm getting.
What do you think is a good age to retire? Whenever you have a fucking enough money to retire? I mean, which is what he's doing. It's just enough money. Like, what do I think the average person should be able to retire at? 50. So then you get a back half of 25 years. I think in a utopia, people would be able to retire at 50. I think seeing people in their 70s working and not, like, there's people that are in their 70s that work because they're just bored. But people that are in their 70s that have to work, I feel like that's turbo shitty, you know? Like, having to see somebody, like, work at a fucking grocery store at 70 because they don't have money, I'm like, oh, that's sad, you know? Like, you're an old-ass man. You're an old-ass woman. Like, you should be able to, like, you know, play shuffleboard and, like, watch fucking Wheel of Fortune till you die, you know?
The expected amount of paychecks. And then over here, I just have some pretty straightforward projections in terms of actually where I'm going to be at financially for a given year and age, assuming certain figures for growth as well as investment outcome. And yeah, so by age...
Wow, he has base growth standard. Yo, what? He's saying by the time he's 40, he'll have $6 million?
30, assuming that all goes well, I'm expecting that I might have somewhere north of around $2 million invested. And this is also tracking the active price of some of my investments, and so this will fluctuate over time. And by age
40% of his portfolios in Meta stock
40, I'm expected to
or some shit like that. It just crashes.
be retired at that point, so I do have empty columns in terms of my actual investment.
Now, if he's this in depth, bro, he probably has so many safety nets, bro. $10 million by 47. All right, I'm a jackass. Don't listen to anything that I just said. How is he growing his portfolio? I know, like, dude, what return rate is he expecting on his investments? This is crazy growth.
But at that point, I might have somewhere in the north of $7 million invested.
I think a very interesting part of the FIRE community is that it has splintered off into various groups and evolved from its original form around the 2010s that was largely focused on
It's compounding? Yeah, well, I mean, it's the rich get richer mindset. You know, 10% of fucking $10 million is $1 million versus 10% of 1,000. Like, the more money you have, the more money you're gonna make.
on frugality at all costs. Now there are folks such as myself that sort of can have their cake and eat it.
Average is 10%. Nah, he's probably not factoring that. If you're looking at, like, long-term retirement like that, he's probably not assuming he's going to make 10% per year because there's going to be down years. There's going to be years where you make less and make more. He's probably going to averagely guess that he makes like 6 to 8.
To where we are able to live a very fulfilling
And then you have to factor in inflation.
lifestyle and save a lot for retirement. In terms of my lifestyle after retirement, I don't expect that I'm going to stop working entirely. I might pick up some odd jobs or contracting work every now and then, just if I decide that it's interesting to me. Other than that, it's really going to be populated with travel as well as attending conventions and just being myself. I think one of the biggest privileges for myself is that I am able to earn enough of an income where I could reasonably support my family if they were ever in trouble. And in the
Nah, this guy has it fucking on lock, chat. I really thought we were going to start this video where it was like somebody just spending crazy money and being like, I'm broke, I have 300K, how am I not making money? He's like actually full planning.
case of a future family, that would be something that I would have to readjust over time.
Yeah.
Moving here has definitely been worth it. Even though the cost of living is higher, the job compensation and the opportunities available here are really unmatched. In terms of staying here long term, that's an existential question. I think in terms of long-term living, I plan to move back to the Los Angeles area. I could definitely see myself
Sorry. Oh my God.
in the position of starting a company in the next couple of years or decades,
If I ever lived in Cali, I would move to San Diego.
but
Never fucking moving to LA.
no plans for that currently. My biggest piece of
Hell no.
advice is something that's fairly widely shared among the folks in the FIRE community, and it's build the life you want and then save for it. There may be a situation where you can't have everything all at once now, and you just kind of have to pick and choose whether or not you want to live in a favorable location, or you decide to spend more on, say, travel and other experiences, or maybe on some of the other material goods that you're looking at.
Oh man.
Wow, that was a good video. I actually had fun watching that. This is exactly how I imagined a coder would live. This feels like satire. I don't think it feels like satire. Well, I mean, he's super planning. Impressive financial habits. Please interview this man again in 6 years. Bro, in 6 years, this guy will probably be even richer than he's expected to be. Genuinely.